Hello, hello. Hi, Britleigh. Thank you so much for joining today on this extra special episode of Minds on Mushrooms.
Yeah. Happy birthday.
Aw, thank you, love.
Yeah.
It's been a couple wild days here. I think today is the third day of celebrations, but it's been a wild year, and I thought, what a great opportunity to kind of, I don't know, film a little birthday episode. And we've had a lot of wildness happening in our lives, and I wanted to celebrate some of these things. I know we've had discussions in the past about how mushrooms have kind of guided us and helped us manifest and maybe see some of our goals come to fruition. But
yeah,
I wanted to have you here. You have an amazing new miracle in your life. Do you want to talk about Britleigh just had a baby boy? Is Willow about 3 months now?
4 months.
Oh my gosh.
Now. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, he's 4 months old, and he is the best thing that's happened to me in my life.
Oh, I can't believe it. We'll probably get into it more, but yeah, I met you not even 2 years ago. And
wow, really?
Yeah.
That's wild. Like, yeah, we'll get into it. That's wild.
Yep. And now you have your beautiful baby boy, your new hubby.
Yeah.
And you are trying to figure out life as a new mom and killing it.
Yeah.
Nailing it.
I appreciate that. So for you, for your birthday, I was just wondering, what are you excited to celebrate this past year? What did you accomplish?
Well, yeah, I'd like to think, as I was entering Leo season, just really feeling grateful, I think, because just taking a look at my life, I'm just in reflection kind of realizing that all roads and paths and hurdles and obstacles have kind of all led me here, if that makes sense. Like, things are starting to kind of make sense as to how they unfolded. And I don't know, it just kind of gave me this feeling of peace. But most recently, I'm just super stoked and excited as I graduated from my psychedelic practitioner training program in mid-July.
Cool.
And so I've received my certificate, and it was a pretty intense 10 months. It was
10 months. Yeah, that's a lot of work.
It was so great though. My program, it's through Third Wave, which is, I'm really proud. My cohort consisted of about 40 people from all over the world. We had Spain and Poland and South Africa and a ton of people from the States. And I guess just some highlights. We spent about 2 weeks in Costa Rica back in February doing the intensive portion of the program. So 40 of us were down in the jungle having all sorts of workshops and lectures on psilocybin and other plant medicines. But we also sat in ceremony for 2 nights. So we did 2 large dose ceremonies. One was under the full moon and in the jungle and the ocean. And both ceremonies included live musical artists and instruments. So it was a whole new experience for me. Just stepping into ceremony with people. I've done a lot of like solo exploration with the medicine. But it was just really great. Truly all of the elements like weave together to kind of intensify the experience. Yeah. So anyway, I'm still reeling from that. Here we are 6 months later.
Yeah.
And yeah, came home and the practicum portion happened with the program. So just a lot of training for coaching and yeah, it feels really good to have it under my belt, and I'm wearing my certificate loud and proud.
Very cool. That is a lot to celebrate. That's exciting.
Thank you, darling. Yeah, it is kind of exciting to be in this space. I feel that it's just exciting times with more and more people, I guess, opening their minds to using the medicine, especially safely and responsibly. And I'm honored to help assist people to understand how to do just that, especially with psilocybin. It's really been my medicine, and I'm still learning every day about it.
How would one person who would be interested in something like that start or get a hold of you and start the process?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think just through this podcast, there's been so much curiosity, and a lot of people ask just that, like, sign me up. What do I need to do? And I think with using psilocybin, I work with people at full spectrum, meaning those that are just curious and really wanting to start their, I guess, psychedelic exploration, maybe with microdosing.
Yeah.
And then I also do in-person ceremonies and virtual ceremonies. But for what you're asking, I think the best way for people to really understand the medicine is to start with a microdosing program. And I'm super excited. I've just put together my program, which I'm calling Bloom, but it's a really great way to connect with me and have a really proper kind of phone call session where we talk about your goals and your intentions, and we start to explain working with the medicine and the different protocols. And you get a 1 month supply of microdosing medication from a very trusted local source. So I'm just super excited to offer this program. It's affordable, $300 for a full month of guided microdosing. And I think the main thing that I've been learning about microdosing
It's
is
pretty affordable too.
Oh, thank you, hon.
Yeah.
It's taking your medicine is just one piece of a microdosing program. The more intentional you are about almost everything. So when we're taking our dose, saying our intentions, and finding time throughout the day to take pause, and whether it's a small meditation before you get out of bed, or more of a dedicated meditation practice. And we'll get into this. I believe the medicine really helps us to manifest and figure out the best next, like, aligned action step to take. Which is going to bring me to turn. I have some questions for you, because I know that before we even met, or when we met, you had told me that you have had some pretty profound experiences with psilocybin.
Yeah.
And yeah, let's talk about, I want to hear, I think you were telling me you took a hero's dose when you weren't feeling well.
Yeah. So I just want to backtrack to when I met you, which seems like forever ago for some reason.
It was at Amy Chanel's meat raffle premiere.
Yeah. And you said that was 2.5 years?
No, it will be 2 years this coming February.
That is so wild. So this is one thing too. I just have to say that a lot of people feel like you lived a lifetime, like you do a lot of things in a short period of time, and this is along with manifesting, because when you follow your path and you follow your dreams, you don't just let them pass up. A lot more things happen in a short period of time, I feel like.
True,
so
that with you. Yeah.
Or just anyone. I've heard that from another like spiritual like podcasts. They're saying, you know, the reason why a lot of people live a bunch of lifetimes or do a lot of things is because they don't pass it up. They just go with stuff. So
I see.
anyways,
well, I think it's, you know, there's so many of us, myself included, where the past year and a half has just brought, I want to say like good chaos, right? So like, there's been a few situations, I don't know if I'm going to get into the details now, but where it feels like the rug is just pulled from underneath your feet.
Yeah.
And I feel like any time that there's a series of these carpets being pulled beneath us,
Yeah.
it's just going to automatically equal change, right?
Yes.
It
Yes.
can't help it but not. And I think that's kind of what I want to dive into right now. There's something for me about working with this medicine intentionally that can help kind of bring clarity, and I'm speaking for myself now, around what I'm wanting, what I'm seeking, what's lacking. And I don't think that anything is just handed to us, but the more we create scenarios where we are taking time to manifest and meditate,
Yeah.
I think that the medicine gives us a sense of kind of like feeling like we're already there. And I think that's the key to manifestation, is just feeling like you already have it.
Believing it.
And I think the medicine helps us believe. And let's talk about some of your stories with.
Yeah. Yeah. So to talk about the story of before I met you, I was out of nowhere struggling with all these health issues.
Hi, friends. I just wanted to take a quick pause and share with you something I've been so excited to share. I'm now officially a certified psychedelic practitioner. As you know, this work truly lights me up. I love meeting people no matter where they are in their journey, whether they're just curious about plant medicine and microdosing or looking to take a deeper dive. All of my offerings can be experienced in person or virtually, so we can work together no matter where you live. I'm currently offering 3 programs. The first is Bloom, which is a guided microdosing journey. This program is meant to spark clarity, creativity, and emotional balance. Awaken is a program for those looking to do a deeper dive with medicine. I offer a ceremonial breakthrough experience designed to open new perspectives and shift what's possible in your life. And with Rebirth, my most immersive journey, it combines a ceremonial breakthrough experience followed by ongoing microdosing integration. So your transformation takes root and really starts to grow. Every single journey is held with deep intention, safety, and care. If something in you feels called, trust that feeling.
That said, you have to change your diet. Wow. And you need to start eating these foods. And over time, your gut's going to heal itself. And I did that. I changed my diet right away. I went to the little local grocery store and I got the foods that I had in my message, and which was like whole grains and stuff like that. But yeah, what to stay away from. And that day I felt better. Wow. And it was crazy how fast I felt better. Like 7 months of not feeling good. And then this message, I changed my diet, and instantly that day I didn't have any pains, and I didn't have any pains for, I think that was it. Like my gut healed itself. Jeez. I love how you say you received a message. Like, I just want to talk about this because I think I like to say the mushrooms deliver us messages, but I also realize that sounds a little cray-cray. But, when you're sitting with the hero's dose, was it like a profound, like detail, like, ma'am, you've got to look into your diet, and you knew which foods to kind of stay away from? Yeah, it kind of like, it's a hard way. Like I have a hard time explaining messages, but it just came to me. Wow. And I just knew, it just popped in my head. And then it was telling me about all these grains to eat and all the foods to eat. And I had a whole list in my head. And that morning I remembered that dream and I wasn't asleep. The message, I shouldn't call it a dream, but I wrote it down, all the food items, and I took this list to the grocery store and I tried it, and I felt really good.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I just think like just here right now, it's kind of like a channeled message.
Yeah. That's totally how I felt.
Yeah. And then while we're on it, I would like to share my channeled message, but we're going to keep going with all the beauty of the mushrooms, the magic, but while it's fresh on my mind.
Well, that's how, because that's when I met you. You told me about this message, and tell me again about it, because when you said this, it made me think of my experience, which happened, I think, not too long before I met you.
Yeah. So again, I a lot of solo journeys for me. And this was, well, I have to back up a little bit and explain kind of what got me here. But I was pregnant about 15 years ago with a baby boy. And unfortunately, we lost him at right around 23 weeks, which was just horrifying. You're visibly showing, and I had to go back to work, and I was working at Best Buy corporate, and there's no conversation. It's just like nobody knows what to say on either end.
Yeah.
But shortly after that, my older brother, his 6-month-old baby passed away. And, that's just ultimately the worst thing that can happen. And so we didn't have time to grieve, nor did we properly our loss, and then the loss of my nephew. And I had the responsibility, or we had to call my grandfather and let him know the bad news about my brother's son passing away. And my grandfather died that night. And so fast forward 15 to recently, when I started using mushrooms intentionally, but kind of haphazardly at the same time. Anyway, there was a night when I was up north, and I'm going to say I had a hero's dose, kind of unintentionally, but this was a night where I involved music. So I had a little wireless speaker. And I just feel like that played into it somehow. But I was kind of, for the first time, actually mourning my grandfather, because I was thinking about my grandpa, and I was just like, damn, I just miss you, Grandpa. And he was such a special part of my life. And kind of throughout my sadness, when I was really struggling with alcohol and my marriage, I would pray to him, if you will, like, help me, save me. And anyway, so I'm up with my hero's dose, and I find myself emotional, just kind of like thinking about my grandpa and how much I miss him and how I truly haven't like really grieved him. And I was crying. And that was when he just came to me. I mean, I didn't see him. It wasn't like he was there, but it was like our conscious minds were connected. And I could hear his voice in my head.
Wow.
And he was saying, darling, you're not crying tears of sadness. These aren't tears of sadness. These are tears of happiness. Look at your life. You've quit drinking. You're on a healthier path. You're a happier mother. You need to share and tell the world how psilocybin has changed you, and people can use it as a tool for all sorts. Like, it was just this channeled thing that and I basically just ran with that after I woke up or came back to reality. I was like, okay, Grandpa just told me that it's my mission to help people, to share my story and help people understand how to work with this medicine. So it feels good sharing this, because I think, it's just a testament to how profound that one experience was to me. Feeling like I was actually connected to my ancestors. I mean, I could go on and on about the journey there. That was just one little portion, but when the mushrooms have the messages, depending on your dose, I think they're like crystal clear. But if you're kind of working with smaller doses, it's more like subtle illuminations, like make you change your perspective or like question something.
Yeah.
But then you can have, my belief is when you're sitting with larger doses, it's more of a like, here you go. Here's your message.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is very loud. The more that I had, like I've done microdose and I've done hero dose, and messages are a lot more clear.
Yeah.
And not saying I recommend it, because I think you also have to know what you're getting into.
Absolutely. I think it's a good reminder though, like just to understand the power of the medicine. And then with that comes responsibility, right? So like, how can we use it, but to our advantage? So I feel like the more intentional we are. So that's kind of like what I want to talk about. Cause I remember when we met, you were like, I've got this crazy story. And but then you have a whole nother life.
Yeah.
Since when we met.
Yep. So you actually, again, I think it, I was meant to meet you after my experience, because when I met you, I was very interested in what you did and what your coaching was about, because of realizing that this could be more than just a party or relax or trip out. It can actually help you heal or help you get the answers that you need. So a year ago, I was going through some really rough time in my life. And so I decided to try to microdose to kind of get some clarity of where I wanted to go. I was, in my mid 30s. I was in a marriage that wasn't going anywhere, that I realized that I made, a few mistakes, and whoa, how did I get here? How do I get out? What do I want? So it's all this chatter and all this chaos, and things don't seem obtainable because I'm in my mid 30s. What am I going to do? Start over? So I really wanted to have a healthy relationship. I wanted to have a family. I wanted to have a baby. But I never really thought that could happen. But I tried microdosing. I kind of did it on my own, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I started getting these little messages about, like, where do you start, right? And it started telling me, telling me that I want a foundation. So, okay, what's a foundation? Like a home, a stability, something more stable in your life. And then I got a voice saying that I should start doing an apprentice with carpentry. I was on a walk with my dog, and it just came to me that I should learn some skills, which is so good. Like, that's what, it wasn't this profound message. It was carpentry. You should learn it. So I became a little bit obsessed with trying to find a place to learn how to do carpentry. And I was in a networking group. And
wait. Remember, didn't I play a little part? Weren't you like, Maggie, I wish I would have learned carpentry?
Yes, you did. Thank you. I still have baby brain. You did. And then you looked at me dead in the eyes and said, it's not too late. Yes, thank you.
Because I'm like, you're not 75, you're 35.
But you didn't know that your just passive words to me were so powerful. And because I don't even know if you remember saying it.
At the time, no, I do.
Okay.
I do. But is that because ultimately you learning that skill or wanting to led you to?
Well, hold on. There was this. So I did the work. So I was like, okay, Maggie said it. She spoke her wise words. She's right. I'm not too old. I can go learn carpentry. And it was just this weird message that I should go learn carpentry. So I had this networking group that they had a few carpenters in there, and I had reached out to them, and they're like, oh yeah, we have an apprentice. And I was like, oh, that's great. We're hiring apprentices. We hire women, we hire men, any age, just have to be excited about it. But at the time I was doing podcasts, I was doing speed dating, I was running my photography business. Like, when did I have time to be a carpenter or like have this carpentry apprentice job? And it's like, but I'm like, I can do it all.
Right.
So I talked to one of the guys in my BNI group, and it was a really good gig. It was like full-time benefits, but I'm like, I'm not going to give up my life for this full-time job. So, I'm not going to take it, but I didn't give up on the idea. I was like, no, let's just find a different route for this, because I'm still going to figure it out. So I kept that open mind, and it was May Day, and last year, May Day, so not this last May, but the year before.
Mm-hmm.
And I ran into an old friend at May Day, which, by the way, he was microdosing. And
my goodness,
that day. So he was on his own journey, and I saw him, and I said, do you still do carpentry? Do you hire like assistants or people who don't know what they're doing, like an apprentice? And he said, yes, totally. I really need that kind of help.
Wow.
And I said, well, call me. And I said, my hours are weird. I can work like one day here, one day there, one day I might not show up. And he said, that's perfect.
Wow.
And and so I did it, and I worked with him a few days, and I loved it. I got my energy out. I learned skills. I felt, because I was kind of depressed in my life at the time, in my living situation, and it really helped me boost my it's like throwing things. It's like, you get that energy out.
Yes,
and
your creative life force.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then what I didn't know what was going to happen was Jared, who had hired me, him and I worked together closely, and we would talk about things about our life and deep conversations, and we became very close and fell in love. And I was on the outs with my marriage.
Right.
And it just kind of overlapped, because I was on my way out figuring that out, and then I met him. But he also wanted a family where our vision for our future aligned. And we talked about like what we wanted out of a relationship, out of life, out of family, out of morals, like all these things. And we both, because we both wanted the same things, I feel like we both kind of manifested the similar outcome. Does that make sense? So I want to backtrack really quick though, if that's okay. So with the microdosing, and I was, like I said, I was going through a rough time in my marriage that was on its way out. It was dramatic, but I was microdosing while trying to figure out how to get out of the marriage. How do we fix this marriage? Do we get out? And one night we were in this big fight, me and my ex-husband, and I kept hearing this owl. And I kept hearing this owl, and owls just stand out to me. They always like symbolize change in my life whenever something is happening. And in my backyard was two owls. They were both like one on each side of the yard.
What?
And it was just I couldn't stop. Like it just like moved me. And that was the beginning of the manifesting and seeing owls. Every time I kind of questioned my path, these owls would come and appear while I was using the medicine.
Wow.
And one night I had this dream about a snowy owl. And I only dreamt about a snowy owl once before in my life, when a big change was happening.
Wow.
And so when I dreamt about this owl, it was kind of biting me with its beak. And I was trying to pull my hand out of its beak, and it kept biting me. And I woke up and I just remembered the dream, and I knew that change was going to happen, because the last time I dreamt of the snowy owl, a big change was coming. So I couldn't stop thinking about that. And then I went to a carpentry job with Jared, and his dog was biting my hand, and I looked down, and his dog was this little Shih Tzu, and it looked like a snowy owl, exactly from my dream. And I realized that this dog represented the snowy owl in my dream, biting my finger. God. And it hit me at that moment. I kind of had like a whoa, everything connected.
Like dots. A visceral, like, yeah. It clicked. Yeah.
Yes. And at that moment, I knew that something with Jared was my future. And like that this is supposed to meant to be, you know? So I was denying my heart when I had feelings for him, thinking, oh, it's just a fling, you question it, it's going to be another mistake, a rebound. And at that moment I realized that I should go for it.
Wow.
And so, so that was pretty wild.
And then now you have a baby.
Well, yeah. And with the journey too, the messages were just so clear. There's a lot of other moments from here to the baby that were like just loud about when I took the medicine. And I had one specific day that I went out to an event with my ex-husband, and I could just hear everything that I need, like get away, like this is not your future, like all this stuff. But yeah, and then when me and Jared decided to take the leap and start dating, and we both knew that we wanted to someday start a family, it was the first day we got together.
That's a miracle in itself.
Yeah, it was just like a crazy, like we both, and I think the thing with manifesting, what I realized, which I still know nothing about, let's be very clear, it's a very mysterious thing, but I've never manifested something so fast and so vivid. And I just knew everything was aligned because I was quiet. The mushrooms medicine quieted like my chaos and let me open up to the path. That makes sense.
I think we know research shows that the mushrooms literally disrupt or quiet our default mode network in our brains. So that like constant dialogue that, you know, mine used to be all about my body, my weight, and oh my God, especially like after having a couple miscarriages and then a baby, and then it's just this constant, you know, so I'm just talking out loud here, but the idea of like this mental chatter that we all have, it kind of runs the show. So like I would obsess about my body and weight, and it's just this thing that's running on endless cycle. And if you don't mind, I'm going to share another little magical mushroom story that kind of relates to all of this. But I originally, when I quit drinking alcohol, I thought I would lose some weight, and I did not, because I was eating ice cream because I was craving so much sugar that wine provides, right? And so I remember, I don't know, a couple months into it, I decided to have some of my magical mushrooms, and straight away in this particular journey, I was super negative. I was like, oh, who cares? I should just go back to drinking. I haven't lost. It wasn't even about losing weight, but this is just what my default mode network was like. You know, I gave up alcohol and I'm still fat. Like it was just negative, all this stuff. And at that time, and this is a theme for me, whenever I'm sitting with medicine and I kind of second guess the medicine, like, oh, it's not working or I'm not feeling it.
Yeah.
Turns out I am. So in this particular case, I was just like, I just had taken some, I don't know, maybe like 2.5 grams of mushrooms, so a significant dose. And I was just sitting there super negative, like, oh, my gut, my body, I should just go back to drinking. These mushrooms aren't even working, like just stupid dialogue like that.
Yeah.
When all of a sudden, the entire perception shifted. And it was like the mushrooms were telling me, Maggie, like, look at, again, good for you. You're not drinking. You're a happier, healthier mother.
Yeah.
And it was just this feeling of just being supported and like, okay,
Yeah.
you're right. And like thinking, like I'm sitting there going, oh, that's right. I am not crying daily.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
you know, and so I'm not waking up or I'm sleeping. So I started like thinking about all of the good things that no, not having alcohol brings. But it was almost like in this journey, I had this self-acceptance. I go, okay, I'll take it. I'm healthier.
Yeah.
I'm sleeping. I don't care if I'm 20 pounds heavier than where I want to be, right?
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, this journey just really quieted that mental chatter that was just like negative, negative, negative talk about my body that went out the window. And from that point on, I lost a pound a week. So in 1 year, I lost 52 pounds because
Wow.
it was just this chatter. I was able to shut it down and just focus it more on the good things that not drinking alcohol have brought me, and not being so fucking mean to myself. And like, because I'm like, we're all our own worst critics. Like, and I can't believe, and this is what I've got a teenage daughter. Like, I want the world to get a grip on what their mental chatter is saying, because I think that we grew up in generations where not only was it okay to be pretty harsh, but we also just carry that, and we can be so mean to ourselves. And it's shocking when you start to gain awareness around the things that you're telling yourself. So I just feel like the mushrooms for me just have a really, because I've been told I've got a hummingbird in my mind, like it doesn't stop. And so it's really, that's going to take charge unless I take time for me to shut it up. And just go inward, medicine or not.
And
right?
Your mindset really changes your life.
Absolutely. And we know it's so cliche, right? But it's so true. And it's so hard to stop, I'm not even going to talk about what runs my mind now, but it's the major problem in my life. So it's about finding that balance and finding the acceptance of what we wish we had or don't have, and turning it into, how do we work to get it versus dwelling on not having, right? I hope I'm making some sense. But I just think psilocybin helps
Being
us
grateful,
do that.
And it almost sounds like the things that you're saying is the psilocybin is like changing your focus of the fears.
Correct.
And telling you about the things that you have.
Exactly. So I think it plays into a huge theme with working with the medicine. Like for me has kind of shifted a little, not necessarily shifted, but I believe the medicine helps us heal, right? And that is, it helps us gain access to things that we've suppressed or just wanted to push away because they're too hard to face. So I think the medicine is so beautiful for that. And I think that is a crucial thing that we all should explore and have free will to do so. But right now, I love to talk about the medicine beyond healing, because we know it can do that. Like the research shows PTSD, depression, all these things. But how can we use the medicine to really manifest and celebrate the gifts that the medicine can illuminate for us? So like sometimes when we're having a journey, you receive gifts. You get to understand things more clearly, or get more clarity on something, or just have this sense or this knowing that provides more confidence, maybe. So it's like that in itself, I feel like is so deserving of conversation and continuing to microdose for some of these ascension type things. I mean, healing is such a tremendous, amazing thing, but it's so personal, and there's so many different modalities that we can use to explore healing. But yeah, it's this take on, I was saying, when we talk about, a lot of times people want to problem solve. I like to think of, let's get rid of problem solving. Let's stop trying to fix things, but let's create creative solutions. Different ways of kind of getting to where we're going. So it's just kind of a positive spin. I don't know. Crazy.
And then I do have to say too that I think you've mentioned this to me before, and it's true. So you don't always, at least like have to take the medicine. It's using it when you need to. And when I was pregnant, I was still using the medicine, and something really interesting happened because I didn't know I was pregnant, and I was taking a microdose amount, and I got these messages to stop. And I didn't know why. And then I did. I stopped taking the medicine. And a couple of days later, I was feeling really sick and found out I took a test and found out I was pregnant.
I think you receive clear messages and owls, and that's so fantastic. Like we were talking earlier, I feel like I need to learn, about just, there's signs everywhere, right? But sometimes we're just too chaotic and like running around to see them. But you did a like really beautiful job of like describing kind of your take on manifesting. Like, I was explaining the idea that the universe, let's say, this is an example from a prior episode, but Amy Newman was on my show, and she said the way she thinks about it, let's say you want a cake. The universe is not going to hand you a cake, but it's going to show you where to find the flour and the spoon and the egg, and you might have to go buy a bowl, but it involves a little bit of work, right? And I think you do such a beautiful job. If there's anything you'd like to add, when you were talking about it, like, I don't know, feel free.
And I actually made a TikTok during this time when I was realizing like the carpentry messages and stuff. And I was like, I feel like I'm on an island and I want to be saved, but there's all these things I'm passing up. Like there might be wood over here, or some helicopter drops a ladder, and I'm like, well, I'm not climbing up that. I don't know where that helicopter is going, or whatever. And I think it's the idea too. It's like, well, this one guy offered this carpentry. It doesn't mean I have to take that job. It wasn't right for me. So I'm going to pass, but I'm going to keep looking. Like, where else? How else can I get there? I got the message. How else can I get there? So again, the cake example is so spot on. You have to be aware. You have to, you might have to go buy a bowl. You might have to do that because you can't mix without a bowl. Like, what's next? And getting to that place. And I think a lot of our head gets, like we said, so chattered up with fear and all these things in the world that cloud us. And it's hard to see through the fog. And just,
it's kind of shocking. I was just doing some reflection, just with my birthday. And I guess holidays can sometimes trigger, like, you know, just some things. When I was married for 20 years, and now I'm not. So it makes you think a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess where I'm going is I just feel, you get a night of bad sleep, and that can set you off on a day of Debbie Downer, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, I was there just the other day. I woke up, I did not sleep well, and the thoughts rushing to my head were just insane. And I'm so glad now that I can do things to kind of like work with it and shut it off.
Yeah.
But it's just so crazy because I feel like our brains are so programmed by default to just have kind of this nastiness to it, or maybe it's me.
It's not just you. It takes hard work because life is hard. There's one thing, that life is always hard.
Yes.
And it's always a struggle. And even if, my story or any stories about I manifested this, like right now I have a new set of problems that I have to figure out how to get through. It's not, riding off into the sunset, because once the sun goes down, there's more issues.
Yeah.
So it's not like always just and happily ever after.
Oh, the little baby's waking up a little bit.
Yes.
Hi, baby.
Willow is awake.
Yeah, it's never, there's never not saying at all that the medicine is a fix-all or anything like that, but I am just so grateful because it took me psychedelics. It took me taking psilocybin to even realize that I could take time to take pause, try and shut my mind off, and to kind of like work with my energies and in the field. So it's just, yeah, I'm just really grateful when I think about our friendship. And to me, it's like, damn, you've got your baby right here. And
I manifested my dream man. I mean, a lot of times
there's that.
Everything everything that he does, because we're still together.
Yes.
And he is my dream person, and everything about him, I tell him that I made him up, because everything that I wanted in a man, I thought about, and he is all the ingredients, even down to I wish a guy brought me flowers. And he brings me flowers every day.
I think that is so adorable, but also a testament to there's just something with the infinite potential of the universe. And, the infinite types of humans walking this world. So it's like an example of you could be choosing to sit and dwell. I don't have a man. I'm unhappy,
But that's
but
so dangerous.
But then you were open and you softened yourself to be able to receive your dream man.
Yes.
And
that's such a big, and that's such a big thing. And it's easier said than done, but it's so dangerous if you get into that dark spot of
absolutely,
of feeling down about everything. You are worth it. You are able to have whatever you want. And once you start believing that, then doors will just fly open for you.
I think it sounds so cliche, but it's so true, right? I honestly believe that we are all conscious creators, and we have the capacity to create the things that we want. I mean, easier said than done, like you said. But yeah, it does take work. It takes belief in yourself and in the process.
Yeah. And once you are open to slowing down your mind and just doing whatever it takes, like whether it's medicine or anything, I think that's where you start, just starting to be with yourself and try the medicine, I think.
I love it. Well, thank you for taking time out of your busy new mom schedule. And I'm just trying to think if there's
Yeah,
anything.
what's new with anything with Minds on Mushroom that I
Yeah,
should know? Or
I think for now, we've already discussed. I'm just really excited now to hit the ground running with my certificate. And it's been really exciting because I've been reaching out and really connecting with some mental health clinics.
cool.
And you can tell that there's interest and curiosity about learning more,
Sure.
using the medicine responsibly. For more information, please visit mindsonmushrooms.com. Thank you for